for some more coffee with Kilroy. So get a cup of your favorite beverage. This one's almost done. And sit back and relax and enjoy a little page through of Avalon Hill Game Company catalog, also the Victory Games Company catalog, effective February 15th, 1986. So we're going back in some time here. And going back to the Avalon Hill catalogs, I've been doing some of these and switching some of these up. What you get here, you get, there's a whole bunch of stuff in here. You get a little advertisement for the General, the Game Players Magazine. So you can order that, subscribe to that. The Generals are a pretty nice magazine back in the day. Here's a little information card trying to find out a little bit about you as a gamer for Avalon Hill and Victory Games. And that address is no longer in effect, of course. Then you have, this is the order form that you can fill out. Anything you see in the catalog, you can fill it out on this order form, and it had your delivery charges, and put your credit card in there. And looks like I got a couple of forms here, but that was how you did it. That's how you ordered stuff back in the day if you wanted to order it by mail. Of course, this is all pre-internet. So little interesting cover there. You're seeing a little bit of the James Bond from Victory Games and some of the war games there, a little bit of space and sports. Avalon Hill got into sports early on. Again, this is 86, so this is what the offerings are there. Here's how you order. Okay, don't need that stuff. Then you got into, they start off with the role-playing games. You got Rune Quest, Powers and Peril, Lords of Creation. Lords of Creation was not a bad role-playing game. I got that, and it was kind of an open system. You can kind of do whatever you want with it, almost kind of like a response to GURPS. You can kind of go anywhere with this this Lords of Creation. It wasn't limited to fantasy or sci-fi. You can kind of do whatever you want with that. And it was not a bad little system. Played a little bit of that back in the day. Still have that. And I think I got like the first scenario, which was like the Horn of Roland or something like that, which was pretty interesting, kind of a mystery. Then James Bond, that was I think a good seller. I actually played that. A friend of mine had a copy of that and played a little bit of that. I think that was a good seller for Victory Games. That was kind of their entry into the role-playing universe, and as you can see, they did a lot of stuff for that. A lot of course, role-playing games are known for that, is coming out with expansions and books and what have you on that. Then you got into the Victory Games military simulations. Korean War, excellent game. Have that. And you got some of their other military simulations. And you can see here they had like the complexity number on these. And again, I don't know if there was any formula or mathematics to any of that stuff, but I think it was just they asked the designer or asked somebody at their office and said, what do you think on this? I'll give it a 5. So your mileage may vary. But you have the Fleet series here. Here's the 6 Fleet. As you can see, there's some pretty interesting stuff here. Then you have fantasy and science fiction games. Kind of interesting there. Stellar Conquest was a notable game back in the day. Then you're getting into the Avalon Hill games. Here's ASL. So this is 85. So this is after Advanced Squad Leader has come out, and they're trying to regroup all the rules and put everything into a standard format. And all the stuff coming out with ASL. Then you have Emperors in Arms. That was kind of a classic, kind of a Grail game for me for a while. I just got that this year, actually, earlier this year through an auction, and but played that back in the day, and that was a massive epic Napoleonic, all of Europe type game. Knights of the Air. Then you get the 1830 Railroads. So they're getting into the 18XX series, which is a railroad series, kind of a not really a war game, more of a Euro type game, but excellent series. I actually have that. Might do an unboxing of that at some point. Of course, it's not really a war game. Then you have the classic war games here: Africa Corps, Air Force, Arab-Israeli Wars, which is a continuation of Panzer Blitz and Panzer Leader. So you got a lot. You can take a look at some of those there a little bit closer. Cross of Iron was updated squad leader before it went to ASL. And as you can see here, you have like the complexity. So flat top, which I have, is a 10. They rated that a 10. Interesting. Excellent game, flat top. And some more games in Hitler's War. That was a very interesting game. That one was kind of an answer to Axis and Allies in some sort. It was easier to play, a little bit more abstracted, but each of the countries or factions had their own development chart. So you can kind of develop your navy or your armor or your infantry, or you can actually develop the nuclear bomb and atomic bomb. And each of the factions could do that. It just depends on how you divvied up your resource points and the like. So it was kind of an interesting game. Really, it just focused on Europe. Did not go into the Pacific or anything like that, but kind of an overlooked game. And it was very colorful. It was kind of different the way that it was a very colorful board that was a little bit different than what you're used to seeing, like with Third Reich and the like. Firepower is a modern day game. Got that recently. It's kind of a small unit tactical type actions that you can do there. There's an order slip there. So then you get into some of the, I think these are just like some of the computer games. You have microcomputers. So, computer games and computer apps and the like have been around for a long time. So I don't know if they're ever going to totally replace the tactile feel of a board game. It is called a board game because it usually has a board or at least a paper map, and in most instances. And I mean, apps are becoming more prevalent and prominent nowadays, but board games, that aspect of the hobby, I think, is still here to stay. More micro games. Here's Discontinued Software. Discontinued Software, no dice required. Again, this is all about the computer. They really were pushing it in '86. Of course, that was about the time where computers were starting to have their first kind of surge into the market. With the, you were now past the old Trash 80, TRS 80 was a game, computer I played or got used early on in the day and trained and learned basic on that. Here's leisure and family time games. Again, Avalon Hill always had a kind of a portion of their offerings that were leisure and family type games, and then Trivial Pursuit type stuff, and then you got into the sports games, which they had a really good offering there. Again, I played several of their sports games, but I was more, once I found Stratomatic baseball, that was my go-to. Played a lot of that, and actually got a little bit into the football. I also played the Status Pro football as well, and the Stratomatic hockey. Played that as well, and but I think I played their Status Pro basketball more than I played the Stratomatic basketball. In fact, I never got that. I might have played it a few times, but don't own that. Then you got the General Magazine again, and here's some discontinued parts list. You used to be able to get parts for your games. That's becoming harder and harder to do now. I mean, like if most of the big publishers, if you have a missing part or a damaged good, just contact them. They're pretty good at getting that out, especially if it's a recent game. They should have it. If it's an older game and you bought it on the secondary market, might have a harder time getting that. But Avalon Hill used to have like tons of parts all the time that you could kind of go get from their stuff. That shows you where I got this. This was I pulled this out of Empire in Arms, that Grail game I got. That's where I pulled this one out of. So that's what you get with the Games and Parts price list for effective February 15th, 1986. Hope you enjoy this little walk down memory lane. I haven't been putting up a lot of content recently. I've got a lot of, life happening, work and my kids, and my oldest is just a year away from college, and so we're getting into all that kind of stuff, and driving, and it's glorious. So I'll try to get more content out, but I thought I'd at least get a little bit of coffee with Kilroy so you guys can enjoy that. And again, always, thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching.